Hey guys, I recently did a video yesterday and I was going to upload an updated video of it last night that I did from my house. Unfortunately, I got tired and fell asleep, so I couldn't do it. Now, I'll probably delete that video since I'm kind of doing it right now here while I wait to go to work. I've got about at least 58 minutes before I clock in. But yesterday, and it is a little windy here. You can kind of hear that, but it's not as you can kind of hear that in the background, but it's not as windy. But yesterday, while I was waiting to clock in as well, not as long. I talked about why Alexa Bliss became champion, became Raw Women's Champion, and thus became the first woman to hold both the Raw and SmackDown women's titles. Why she was the first one to do that. And the reason being, and I pointed this out, was due to the fact that she's put in a lot of hard work to improve, not just in-ring wise, but promo wise. That basically, in just her short time in the WWE, if not in the business entirely, she has gone on to be one of the best, as some people have said, even Solomon said this, one of the best in-ring promo workers there is. I mean, basically, she has what is known as a sharp tongue that basically no woman in the women's division on either brand can match with. She's basically, it's like you could try to say something to her and it might offend her a little bit, but she can always find a way to counter that by saying something you wouldn't expect that would basically make you feel like, I just got schooled. So, to me, that is why, in my opinion, Alexa was given the women's championship and was made the first woman, like I said, to win both championships because of that kind of talent that she has. She's also, of course, improving in the ring. Yeah. Now, a lot of people have said she's still not there yet, but she is getting there, and that she's going to slowly get to that point where she's just going to be the total package when it comes to in-ring presence, both promo-wise and in-ring skill-wise. Now, again, I apologize for the wind. Yeah, sorry about that. The wind picked up a little bit. Like I said, it's a little windy, not as much as yesterday. But anyway, it's like I said, the reason, basically, she's not, in-ring wise there just yet. But when she is, basically in the eyes of many, she's going to be like the total package. She's going to have it all. Promo skill, in-ring skill, she's just going to have the total package. Now you might say, well, why didn't they do it with Charlotte? Well, it's real simple. If their intentions are to make Charlotte a top babyface on SmackDown for the time being, then giving her that historic accolade wouldn't make sense. From a heel perspective, it makes sense, because in a way you're taking advantage of a situation like Alexa did at Payback to become champion. Now, do a lot of people agree with the way she became? Now, does anybody? Easy for me to say. Now, does everybody agree with where she became champion at, location-wise? No, absolutely. No, absolutely not, I should say. Because it's like, because to a lot of people, why is WWE so obsessed with always humiliating people in the hometown or the home region? I don't know. But Is a lot of people happy with the fact that Bayley lost the title in San Jose? No. But is she going to get it back? Absolutely. Because like I said before, in yesterday's video, which this is an update of, Alexa Bliss right now is the perfect foil for Bayley. Now you might ask, well, why that is? It's real simple. Alexa can be a legitimate heel that even though you could get behind her, she'll find a way to make you hate her. She can do that, and I think that's a natural gift that she has. She just has that natural gift to do that. And that's why a lot of people praise her her promo skills, her in-ring and backstage promo skills. She finds a way to shut people down. You know, and as far as trying to make Sasha a babyface and all that, not babyface but a heel. There's still plans to probably do that. There's still plans to probably make her a freaking heel, a top heel on Raw. But right now, those plans are kind of, out the window. Or being put on the shelf until the time is right, because even though they could still do it in time for SummerSlam, Sasha is still over with the fans. I think whoever is back there creative, whether it's Kevin Dunn or whoever, maybe even Triple H, maybe they're making them realize, look, maybe they're discussing the fact that, yeah, we want to turn Sasha heel so we can have that rematch between her and Bayley 2 years in the making at SummerSlam, same location, same venue, but different event for the Women's Championship. Yeah, we want to do that, but Sasha right now is but the problem we're seeing is Sasha is too over as a babyface. That she's that even if they try to turn her into a heel, their fans are going to still cheer her. I mean, remember, when she came in, she was a heel. But despite doing little nuances here and there, like wearing opposing teams, let's say wearing opposing teams' colors in a rival team's hometown, or trying to say something insulting, people still loved her. They still cheered her, because the reason being is they feel she's the closest thing maybe they'll get to an Attitude Era-like woman in WWE. And that might be true. But we can't say it is or it isn't. We can say whether it is or it isn't, but the point is, with Sasha is, yeah, she can be a natural heel, probably one of the more hated heels out there, but right now, because she is so over with the fans, I think they're afraid she's going to get that Roman Reigns treatment, but the opposite. That instead of being booed, she's going to get cheered, no matter what she does. So, I think they want to try to avoid that and try to pick their timing. They want to try to pick their timing and all that. I mean, they want to make sure they have the right opponent for her. And they do in Bayley. They have the right opponent for her, in Bayley, but it's more along the lines of the timing right now is not right. That is why Alexa has been put in this position. Not only is she a good foil for Bayley to work with right now, but she's also that bridging gap. She's also that necessary piece in the bridge, I should say. She's that necessary piece that needs to be put into the bridge to connect it to its to the destination people want to get to. It's like with road construction. When road construction happens, it kind of hinders you a little bit. It kind of makes you go to a different direction or go to another side of the road while they work on the other side, or the other parts of it. Does it kind of get you to your destination, but it's a bit of an obstacle. And that's basically what Alexa is right now. She is that road construction that basically WWE has to go on to get to the Sasha Banks-Bayley matchup at SummerSlam or sometime in the future. You know, that's what they need to do. They need to that's what Alexa is there for. To basically be that roadblock, that road construction that delays your inevitable, delays you or reroutes you to your destination. You know, that's what it is. That's what she is. And unfortunately, that's not good. Because I agree, she does deserve to be champion. She has proven, promo-wise, that she is she's good on the mic, that no one, in a sense, can touch her, depending on who she works with. But with that said, even though in ring, you know, even though depending, like I said, on who she works with, no one can really touch her. Right now, she's just being used as filler by WWE to get to their she's being used right now as filler to get to their destination at SummerSlam. That's all she is. She is that obstacle course. She is, like I said, she is that obstacle course. She is, how do I put this? She is that roadblock. She's basically, I'm going to just say it, you know, she's in the role of a transitional champion. And it may not be, it's a few week transition. No. It's basically the kind of transitional championship run that may last about a month or two, maybe 30 to 60 to maybe, if things work out right, 90 days at least, 2 to 3 months. And you might say that's not really transitional, and that's true, maybe it's not, but in the case of Alexa, it could be. In Alexa's case, it could be just that way because of the fact that why would they put the belt on her right now instead of keeping it on Bayley? It's simple. It's real simple right now. You see, Sasha, like I said, is still over as a babyface. So they got to, so basically they are giving themselves time. They're using this situation, this obstacle, this roadblock that they put in front of that potential planned match for SummerSlam or whenever. They put it there to give themselves, to buy themselves time before they can come up with a solution, an idea of how you turn Sasha heel. How do you turn her heel to the point that even the fans will want to see her get the heck beat out of her by Bayley? How do you do that? And I think that's why Alexa was given the belt. She was given the belt, so it buys the bookers and the creative team time to how they can come up with Sasha's heel turn. That's why they did it. Now, does it necessarily mean Sasha has to turn heel, let's say Bayley wins, or maybe after she wins and beats Alexa? You know, does it mean she has to turn heel after one of those situations? No, not really. See, you could have other ways you could slowly get her to that heel turn. One, you could actually let Alexa keep the belt till SummerSlam, thus she loses it in a triple threat match, maybe, maybe she loses it in a triple threat match, but instead of losing it to Bayley, she loses it to Sasha, who takes advantage of the situation. Like, let's say Bayley does all the hard work, or at least looks like she's on her way to win the championship. Like, let's say Bayley hits a belly to Bayley on Alexa, looks like she's on the road to winning the championship, and then all of a sudden Sasha just hits her from behind or kicks her right in the face, Bayley pushes her out of the ring and steals the pinfall, thus stealing the championship. Thus, not only would she be stealing something away from her supposed best friend, but in the long run, storyline-wise and character-wise, you would have Bayley's eyes open wide right there by realizing what everybody had been telling her about Sasha is the truth. And that is, Sasha had been using her the whole time. Sasha had been using her the whole time to get to the championship. That she never cared about her as a friend. All she cared about was using her to get to the title. And storyline-wise, that could work because, like I said, you could have Bayley's eyes open wide for the first time. Like, she could realize that unlike NXT, like maybe for the first time in her life, she can realize, unlike in NXT, she can't really trust anybody here. She can't really trust anybody here. She's got to watch her back. It would be like a maturing moment for Bayley. Like, she'll realize she has to grow up and she has to leave this whole, she can still be a hugger and all that, but she has to leave that all really behind, because now she has to grow up and realize she's got to do things on her own. She can't really depend much on anybody. I mean, it's like, okay, she could be friends with somebody or respectable with somebody or get along with people, but it doesn't mean she can trust them. And to me, it'd be a great character development for Bayley, should that happen. Whether it happens at SummerSlam in a triple threat, whether it happens in a multi-woman match for the #1 contendership, it will work. And thus you could build to Sasha and Bayley to SummerSlam from that moment. Like on Raw, you could have Sasha do the same thing, have Bayley's eyes open wide, and thus you build to that, and thus you use that as the foundation to build towards that matchup at SummerSlam. Or if you do it at SummerSlam, you could use that as the catapult, or you could use that as the means to catapult yourself, or catapult that storyline straight to, let's say, Survivor Series, with the possibility that even in a few months, you could build it into a monster, maybe, if done right, to where possibly it could close out Survivor Series, or if you build it up well enough, that you could go even beyond Survivor Series, maybe to the Rumble, maybe even to WrestleMania, to the point that if it built up correctly, you could have a Bayley-Sasha rivalry and possible match at WrestleMania that could rival, or that could contend for the main event status at WrestleMania, that could basically say, hey, we got such a big rivalry going on here, we could be the ones that close out the show instead of supposedly Roman and Brock. And I believe if done correctly, it could work. I really do. But let me check my time here. We got about 40 minutes. But like I said, I believe if done correctly and done right, it could, and you want to hold it off till that moment. You want to build up to it for the rest of the later part of this year and into early portion of next year, and conclude it at WrestleMania. It could, like I said, if done correctly, it could rival Brock and the supposed Brock and Roman match from Mania for the main event status. It could do that. But here's the thing. It all depends on what happens. And this is where Alexa comes into play. Right now, a lot of people pretty much feel that she is in the role of a filler champion, someone that's just going to hold on to the belt, be a foil for Bayley for a while, and thus drop the belt either at Extreme Rules or at the, can't believe I'm going to say this, Great Balls of Fire Raw pay-per-view. She either drops it at one of those, or they keep it on her till SummerSlam, and then she drops it, like I say, at SummerSlam, and possibly a triple threat match involving Bayley and involving Sasha. And then, like I said, you could play it out to where Bayley looks like she's on the verge of winning and Sasha takes it away from her. She steals it from her. She stabs her in the back. And I think that could work. You're building to that moment. You tease people because here's the thing. You've been building to the moment. You've been teasing people to that moment. And now you're giving it to them, but you're giving it to them on the stage that they thought they were going to get they were going to get that matchup anyway. So, there you go. So there you go. Anyway. Honestly, that's why, Alexa's in the role she is. Now, I know some people are hoping that's not the case, and maybe they do hold off till SummerSlam at least. But she's in the role right now as a filler champion to basically buy time for the creative staff to come up with a good idea, a good storyline idea to have Sasha betray Bayley and turn heel to become champion. So, I think that's what they're waiting for. I think that's why Alexa's in this role. Not just because she's earned it, which she has, because she has improved beyond, I think, anybody's expectation, promo-wise and such, that she's one of the best talkers out there today. And then in-ring wise, you could tell she's going to get better. And then sooner or later, she's going to be, like I said earlier, that total package that the WWE wants. And I could see her having multiple reigns in the future on both Raw and SmackDown. I really can. But right now, like I said, she's just in a role. Yeah, she's been rewarded for her hard work. And that's great and everything. But right now, she's in the role of just a filler champion. Yes, she's made history. Yes, it will go down in the history books as her being the first woman to hold both championships. There's no denying that. But right now, even though she's made history and all that, it's in the history books and everything, and so forever going to stay there, she's not going to remain champion for much longer. And that is what it's going to lead us. And the reason being is she's just in the role of a transitional filler champion for the next 30 to 60 days at least, or at most. That's what I believe. Unless things change and they said, hey, she's improved in leaps and bounds, let's keep it on here to SummerSlam, then I could see maybe a lot of the stuff going down to SummerSlam. But in reality, I think everything's going to be happening before that. According to what a lot of inside sources, whether you believe them or not, they're saying is WWE wants to do Sasha and Bayley. It's the best chance they got. We'll see what happens. Now, here's a question though. Even though Alexa, with all due respect, is in this role, unfortunately, as a filler champion, like I said, it's basically just giving the creative staff time to. Chris is just buying the creative staff time to come up with a solution of how they get to Bayley and Sasha. Who's to say, now that I think about it, who's to say maybe Bayley won't turn heel? I know you're thinking, well, that's impossible, Brian. She's too much over as a babyface. She's got that clear, if you look at her, she's got that clean-cut babyface look. There's no way they would turn her heel. Well, we don't know that. I mean, they teased in NXT that she can get down and serious, especially towards the end of her run there. So, who's to say they won't attempt it? They won't test the waters with it. Basically Bayley's had enough. She's had enough of being a nice girl, and she's realized, hey, I've been champion, but it's really gotten me nowhere, with respect. It's gotten me nowhere as far as respect goes and everything. Maybe she just snaps. Look what she did on Raw to Alexa, tipping her over off the podium. I think in a sense, if WWE wants to come up with a creative solution, and even if it's a short-term deal to test the waters, see how fans react, I think a Bayley heel turn is exactly what would be needed, and and from a Raw perspective, as a brand in the show, it would create intrigue, because you're taking essentially a wholesome babyface and you're basically making them go 180 and turning them complete heel, at least for the short term. Like you can put Bayley in the role of what Shawn Michaels did in 2006 against Hogan. Or was it 2000? No, it was 2005. Yeah. You can put her in that role that Shawn Michaels was in 2005 against Hogan. You can have her turn heel just for the short period, so she can at least, in that short time, with it, even if it's a month, maybe a few, at least she can make people realize, hey, in the end, maybe, that even, like I said, even for a short time, she can make people look at the fact that, hey, I'm not that wholesome like you thought I was. And in the end, maybe she can come out and say, look, I needed to go through that moment to realize this ain't NXT anymore. This is WWE, and I need to take things more seriously. So I could see WWE doing that, because one, it would be out of the blue, you wouldn't see it coming. It could also be based on her realizing she can't trust anybody, not even Sasha. And you could put Sasha in a babyface role, like, oh crap, maybe I shouldn't have used Bayley to get to the top. Maybe I should have just let Bayley be, enjoy her moment. I don't know. But to me, I think it's probably the best. But to me, you want to create intrigue, you want to create buzz for your product, especially your brand and your show. Doing something like that unexpectedly will do it. And like I said, depending on how it goes, it could go bad and could go good. Who knows? But like I said, right now, getting back to Alexa, because it still plays into that as well, it gives the creative team that creative team time to come up with an idea of how to get there. And who knows? Maybe they'll decide to, like I said, make Bayley a heel even temporarily. So, everybody on that Raw women's division, and maybe the SmackDown Live women's division, if she goes there down the line, can realize, oh crap, Bayley's not to be messed with. Maybe, like, oh crap, Bayley's not to be messed with, because we don't know what we're going to get from her. We don't know what side of Bayley we're going to get. So, I think it could work. I think it would be a good idea to try, because no one would see it coming. And when you think about it, WWE's too scared to make John Cena a heel or Roman Reigns a heel. Why not turn someone like Bayley a heel? Even if it's for a short term. Like I said, it would be unexpected. It would create buzz and intrigue for your product. It would get people to tune in. I think it could work. I really do. So, I think all we have to do really now is just wait and see what they do. But I think that could be a solution too. I think that could be an awesome solution, and I wouldn't put it past creative to try to come up with something that could create buzz for them, and that could do it. But a lot of people would probably say WWE will probably just go the Sasha route, which is cool, which is good too, will work as well, because you could get a good story out of that. But we'll have to see what happens. But I think either way, right now, as much as she's deserving of this moment for all the hard work she's put in and is still putting in, Alexa Bliss being the first woman to be the SmackDown to be both SmackDown Women's Champion and Raw Women's Champion is a great historical moment and accolade to put on your resume. But right now, Alexa is just in a filler position unless things change. With all due respect, that's what she's in. and I don't see that changing anytime soon. If it does change, I'd be surprised, but I don't. So really, that's all I'm gonna say on it. You guys let me know what you think right now. I'm gonna go get me some breakfast before I clock in. And I do apologize for any windy moments throughout this video. But let me know what you guys think. How do you think Alexa being champion right now is just buying the creative staff time to come up with an idea to get to Sasha and Bayley? And which direction do you think they'll go? Do you think they'll go the predictable turning Sasha heel, and turning against Bayley, which could definitely work in their favor? When do you think it will happen? And do you think they'll even attempt to do a Bayley heel turn, even if it's for short term, and still use that to get to Bayley and Sasha? Let me know down below, comment if you like, and I will talk to y'all later. But again, this is an updated, hopefully less windy video on why Alexa Bliss became champion, or Raw Women's Champion. Let me know down below.